I'm Helen Friedman, the Executive Director of Americans for a Safe Israel. We've been running, this is now our 42nd mission to Israel with the Chizuk mission, and we travel all around Yehuda, Shomron, the Galilee, the Negev, all parts of Jerusalem, etc., to see what is really happening on the ground. And each time we've come, we see the fact that the Arabs are encroaching into the land of Israel more and more and more. Up in the Galilee, all we see is Arab minarets and beautiful homes, mansions, and we visited a Hesed yeshiva that is just like a finger in the dike there, just holding on to that land. In the Shomron, of course, it's overrun with Arabs. Eastern Jerusalem is also overrun, and the Temple Mount, we went up on the Temple Mount, and it's disgraceful because we had to hand in our passports. We were a group of about 15 or so. We must have had 15 guards surrounding us to make sure that we did not tarry, that we did not pray, and people were surrounding us and mocking us and yelling Allah Akbar and stuff like that. And one member of our group, whose skirt just came below her knees, had to have herself wrapped up in a shawl so that she would be more modest, according to the Arab requirements. And we've been discovering that this situation, it's not like the Jewish people are so good. The ones that we are meeting are so genuine, so real, so sincere, just like the people here at Arutz Sheva. But it seems that the problem is really the government, and the government doesn't have the will to enforce the laws so that the Arabs understand that message. They understand that there really will be no punishment for illegal building, which goes on everywhere. There's no punishment for their behavior on the Temple Mount. There are no repercussions for all of this behavior. So obviously they do what anyone would do in this situation, and they just become more and more brazen. So we are praying and hoping that this new government, in which we have many friends and many people that we trust and rely on, that they will be strong and have the backbone and the will to do what's right for the nation of Israel, which we love so much.
So when is the next trip?
The next trip for Chayei Sarah, of course, will be in Hebron, and with thousands of people, and we do that almost every year, and we look forward to it.
Helen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
בישראל, לצד השמאלי, לא עשו לה שום דבר. ערוץ 7 שעמד ליד האונייה הזאת, המנהלים שלו נשלחו למאסר ושילמו הרבה מאוד כסף.
So basically, at the same time, as I mentioned before, there was sort of like a monopoly over the radio industry. So other people were doing the same thing, and there was actually a ship. There was a left-wing radio station that was situated right next to the Arutz Sheva ship, which was they left, and they just shut down the Arutz Sheva ship, and they actually arrested a number of people, and they had to pay a lot of money to release the equipment and the people.
והיום הכל history.
That's all history now.
עכשיו היום יש לנו אתר אינטרנט, הכוח היום של האינטרנט הוא מאוד מאוד חזק בארץ, בעולם, כל מבזק, כל ניוז בריף שכותבים כאן, כל כתבה, רואים אותה מיד בכל העולם, ולכן אנחנו היום משקיעים את כל המאמצים 24 שעות רק בלהביא את הציונות, את הדברים הטובים שבמדינת ישראל לכל העולם כולו.
Nowadays that's all history. Now we are internet-based. We're an internet-based news agency, which means that no one can stop our message from going anywhere. Even the smallest news brief that goes up on our site can reach any sort of all four corners of the world. And what I would add is that we really genuinely do have readers from all corners of the world. Obviously, the largest body is from the US, but we have from all over the world. And that's the situation as it is today.
The Americans for a Safe Israel organization, and we're very concerned right now with all the big issues like BDS and all this land that the Palestinians are confiscating, and we want to see a safe Israel. So we've visited numerous different areas with Israelis in Judea and Samaria. We've been all over the country, really, and it's a pleasure to be here at your news station. It seems that you're doing wonderful work in terms of getting the word out, in terms of what's happening here in the settlement areas, and this has been very informative. So thank you.
How do you think Israel need to fight for boycott that?
I think on the BDS, the government has to do a lot in terms of diplomacy. I think across all of the parties in the Knesset, they've done nothing. They've been reactive. And I understand that there's going to be some funding, something along the lines of $50 or $60 million, but a lot more needs to be done. And organizations like yours are already, just by getting the truth out, accomplishing a lot, but much more needs to be done in terms of getting the real facts out.
And what about the Jewish community in the world? What do you think what they need to do?
Well, about the Jewish community in the world, many of them, I might even push to say the majority of Jews in the diaspora are uninformed. And many of them believe the propaganda. And unless we get the right news out, we're going to lose. And I think that the media war is now superseding the military war. So it's just so critical, so critical.
Hello, I'm Judy Kadish, and I am the co-executive director of Americans for a Safe Israel. We arrived in Israel, and our first stop was in South Tel Aviv, where we met a heroic woman, May Long, who showed us around and showed us the dangers that are happening from the infiltrating Sudanese and Eritreans who have kind of taken over the area. People don't feel safe. We spoke with an Arab who has whose wife had been attacked. We spoke with an elderly woman who spends her days in a daycare facility and is not able to go out at night, not able to go to synagogue at all. These are people living in fear, and nothing is being done. The government doesn't seem to be doing anything to protect the community. May has lived there all her life, and she's brave. This is a kind of woman who could go anywhere she wants, I'm sure, but she wants to stay there, and she wants to protect her neighborhood and her neighbors, and we wish her. Oh, yes. We actually went into, there are very few Jewish businesses left in the area. We went into a printing shop, and where they have to keep arms. They have to keep sharp sticks and mallets and things like that to protect themselves, no guns, because they've been attacked. And we then did not have enough time to make the left turn that May would have liked to have us make. We were kind of in a hurry. We had to make a right turn. We heard the next day that had we made a left turn, we would have been in the midst of a stabbing. So it hits close to home. I mean, it hits close to home when any Jews are in trouble. But here we were right there, and it's hard to understand. It's really hard to understand.
So what's the message of coming for you to all the Jewish community in Europe, in the United States, to come here to visit? What do you tell them in these days?
Well, of course, we feel that as Andrew mentioned, as Helen mentioned, people need to come and see what's happening on the ground. They need to stop reading newspapers that are being fed information by people with a different slant. Jews need to hear and see what's really happening to Jews in Israel. It is an apartheid state, but it's apartheid against the Jews. And that's a very hard thing for people to understand. And I think it's very important for people to come here, and please come with AFSI. And we will take you and show you, and you'll understand. And we of course, as Helen said, are hoping that the people in the government, the new Justice Minister, will enforce some of the laws and really take care of the people of Israel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.